So I know everybody's on eggshells awaiting the TikTok ban verdict. Probably by the time you get this video, the verdict will already be out. Hopefully it's a good one and it's gonna stick around. But if not, you know where to find your people. Make sure the people you follow, watch their videos, entertain. Make sure you know where to find them. If so, I see a lot of apps popping up in different places offering alternatives and startups. This is opportunity time for other apps to start. So be paying attention. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, let's get to the craziness that's going on. All right. So remember, question everything. You should. And these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Let's get to it.
And look, they blink at different times. So you know there's not no...
What the?
I kept seeing that, right? But I thought maybe it was just the lighthouse, but it ain't no way.
No, the lighthouse, I ain't never seen a lighthouse flash like that.
I kept telling you something was up with this sky cadet. Remember that star that was over there?
Yeah.
That and look on my camera, right? The sky don't even look how it look. Remember? It look like a...
You see this? It's like we're in a mountain.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
And you see how the sky keeps getting brighter and then it goes dim?
Yeah. Dancing.
Okay. Look at the middle light. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
And then the two lights spinning.
I'm gonna call my sister.
So, listen, man. Because a lot of people be looking at those lights and they be like, oh, that's a bunch of them. To me, I look at that and be like, that could be just one huge mothership sitting right above wherever they at. Where is this, in Florida? Right above them. And people be wanting to say, oh, that could be a light show. That's spotlights. Then where's like the beam going up to the light? Like, I don't even see that. It's just, I don't know, bro. That's just too weird. That's way too weird. And it just looks like it's just sitting there in plain sight. Not completely visible, but visible enough for you to see the lights at the bottom of it. Make it make sense.
Illness across the U.S. Things are so bad in one state that some hospitals, they're actually restricting visitors. And ABC's Morgan Norwood is here with the new details. Good morning, Morgan.
Gio, good morning. If it feels like everyone around you is coughing or sneezing, look, you are not imagining it. Hospitals across the country are dealing with a wave of respiratory illnesses hitting families hard, especially young kids. The CDC says more than half of the country, at least 35 states, are seeing high or very high levels of flu, COVID, RSV, even the common cold. So far this season, the flu alone has sent more than 63,000 people to the hospital and caused at least 2,700 deaths. That includes 11 children, and we are expecting fresh numbers tomorrow. Meanwhile, in Michigan, the situation's so serious that two major Detroit health systems are now limiting visitors to help stop the spread of flu and RSV. Pediatric units especially overwhelmed, with some hospitals at 95% capacity. Health experts urging everyone to get their annual flu and COVID vaccines if they haven't already, and Rhiannon, to stay home if you are sick.
Good advice there, Morgan. Stay home if you are sick.
Illness across the U.S.
Just feels like it's ramping up. It feels like it's just growing and growing and getting like real. It's out of control at this point, man. Like I said, I got one in my household. I had two. I got one. He seems like he's coming through it right now. But man, it just seems like a lot. And the last time we heard hospitals getting overwhelmed, it became a huge problem. Y'all remember that?
Okay, it's like 3:45.
a.m. and I'm freaking shaking, which is why I'm gonna make this video real fast. I fell asleep on a couch tonight and I woke up and I thought I heard like a dull buzzing noise and it was coming from outside, and I was like, well, that's kind of weird. And it just kept on going, so I like went out to the backyard and I looked up, and I swear I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but obviously New Jersey has all those drones. I see drones, a lot of them. And I went and woke my husband up because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just seeing things. And he thought it looked like drones too. Here's the thing that's messing with my head is I downloaded one of those stargazing apps. And when I put the stargazing app up, particularly these ones that looked like they were like 3 in a row, it said it was like Mars and 2 stars. I have never seen stars be that bright with the moon out as bright as it was today. And so you got to tell me if I'm crazy, and I'll show you the video of what I got, because I truly don't know. Are these, they were making noise. They were.
Y'all stop thinking y'all crazy. Y'all are not crazy, bro. You're not. How are you crazy when there's so many people on this app and so many people out here in the world that are seeing these things too? Y'all are not crazy, man. Stop feeling like that.
Making noise. That's all. There was noise. So I also have never seen stars that make noise. But yeah, tell me. Can't tell. Okay, definitely 3. Right there. And you got 3 that are up there. What in the world? There's 3 right there. There's another one. Another one. Another one.
And who gave them the okay to just be able to be free and move about freely in our airspace? Like, when did we become so generous? Like, I don't even recognize this place anymore. When did we become just so nice to just allow this freely just movement in our airspace?
This is crazy. All right, for reference, here's what my Stargazer app showed me. I mean, that one that I zoomed in on did definitely have a red hue to it, so maybe it is Mars. I don't know if there's any astronomers out there that want to call my bluff. Feel free. But those other 3 that were right like above the cloud cover, I didn't get the chance to, by the time I pulled out this app, it was already covered with clouds, so I couldn't see them anymore. But it's just sus. Yeah. Tell me what I'm seeing. Okay.
Look, I'm sure lots of people are punching the air at the irony of an insurance company having to kind of grind to a bit of a temporary halt as a result of something like this. You know, it's kind of the first proper day back after the new year and the festivities, driving to work, and I knew something was up when I got about 20 calls off staff members, and I started seeing the traffic get worse and worse as I approached Thermiston. And yeah, essentially when I got to the office, there seemed to be a river coming through the road into our car park, filling up our poor office. Absolutely never experienced anything like this before. I've been in that office for 10 years plus, and we've never experienced anything even close to this. I did hear on the radio that we had about 3 weeks worth of rain in about 30 minutes, and yeah, it certainly looked like that. Look, I'm sure lots of people...
Straight up irony right there, bro. That is so ironic. An insurance company flooding? Yeah. Yeah. Like, listen, fam, like and I'm starting to see more people speak out, which is good. You need more like celebrities, people with like influence to speak out and talk about what's happening to people and what has been happening to people. Like, this ain't just started. So you need more people to speak up, and maybe we see something happen. But this right here, yeah, small win, big victory is what you probably say for something like this.
Stay ready. I'm taking the subway after all the scary stuff I've seen on the subway, and I'm like against the wall. Eyes this. AirPods off. Standing right next to the railing, so if someone tries to come next to me, I'm grabbing that railing with my dear life. No one is gonna push me on down. Stay ready.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's how you gotta be to ride the New York subway these days. But that's how you gotta be, fam. Even if you're taking it, and then that new tax that they putting on people is forcing more people to ride the subway instead of being on the road, because it's like you gotta pay now on top of other things. So the subways is about to be crazy. So I hope they tighten security even more down there, because it's probably gonna get crazier.
So Mark Zuckerberg went on the Joe Rogan show and admitted that the Biden-Harris administration pressured him to suppress freedom of speech. Like, we already didn't know that. That's why we left the platform in the first place, Mark. But thank you for coming out, being honest and transparent. That way we all can connect the dots and realize that it's this current administration's, it seems like it's their goal to suppress, depress, oppress, all of that of us. All of us. It's not no color thing, race thing, gender thing. They just want everybody to put up, shut up, and just do whatever they say. And honestly, we all know that's not right. So we can stop with the projection onto Trump. We can stop thinking that Trump is the bad guy. We can stop thinking Trump is here to destroy and be a tyrant. Because see, now we clearly can see who the real tyrants are. So thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, for being honest. I know it takes a lot of courage to do something like that, especially in the climate that we are in right now.
I haven't looked into this because I've been sick, but I had a thought. With this California fires, which is sad, but did P. Diddy's home get burned down? Because if so, we have an arsenal in our hands. It's not just some wildfire. Somebody said this. P. Diddy's if y'all know what it is. Let's not pretend. It be some strange things happening when these big celebrities and these people get caught up in these scandals. A lot of things be happening. Somebody tell me. I'm not looking it up. I don't even want to. I want to know, but I don't want to know, because if it did, we all know what it is. It's shit scary. It's scary. Be safe, people. Be safe. I know I'm looking terrible because I don't feel good, but it hit my mind and I'm like, P. Diddy. Did anybody?
I don't think it did, but I don't have any proof, because my only proof is that it's not plastered all over the news. Like, if his house burned down, it would be everywhere. News coverage, everything would all be at that house, and we would know. We would automatically know, and we would all have the same thoughts that this gentleman had right here, of assuming that, hey, that somebody did that. Somebody did that. Yeah, you can't convince me otherwise. You know what I mean? So I don't think it did, but we'll see once they start figuring out whose home is whose, and what was burnt down and everything like now. Right now, they're still actively fighting those fires, so they probably haven't surveyed, but I'm pretty sure somebody's noticed that, would notice if it was. We would know.
Okay, we need something lighter for a minute. So, there are times in this job and career that it has to be true because you can't even make it up. So let me introduce you to Martin Gonzalez Garcia. This guy is not scheduled to be able to complete college as a Rhodes Scholar. All right? This guy may be like the dumbest person on the face of the earth. I mean, I'm just guessing. Thinking out loud, you know. But on the 29th of December, at about 1:10 in the morning, we get an alarm at a Dollar General out in Poinciana. And we respond to the alarm and find there's been a burglary and a theft. So we start the investigation, and we have some video of the guy who breaks into the store. Well, the manager looks at this video and goes, well, I recognize that guy. I talked to him about a cell phone. He wanted a cell phone. Interestingly enough, there's a cell phone stolen from the burglary. And not only that, he asked about employment. I gave him an application. Well, not only that, I got his phone number. Did you hear that? Did you hear what I said?
Yo, these people really exist out here, y'all. I'm telling you, man. These people really exist. You may be one of them. I don't know, but they exist. They exist, bro. I know better. At least that's what my mama would say. I know better. I know better.
I didn't stutter. We had his phone number, and the deputy who's investigating it go, yeah, I recognize that guy from the neighborhood. So we look for him all through the night, and the night shift goes home. They come back to work that night. Now look, I know, look, y'all look at me. I'm not drinking, okay? I'm not on intoxicating drugs. At 18:55 hours at night, we get a 911 hang-up. A 911 call. Did you hear that? A 911 call. I'm sober as most judges right now. We get a 911 call. Our deputies respond to Cardinal Street in Poinciana to a vacant house with a for sale sign in the yard. So we're checking the house. That's where the 911 call came from. The sliding glass door is open. So we go in and we check it out. And voila, there's Martin, along with his girlfriend, Alicia Ocaso. She's 22. That's right, they're in the house. So we go in and we, of course, take them into custody. Martin confesses to both of the burglaries. Ashlis, she confesses to her burglary that they're in the house. And here's what she said. I swear she said this. It's hard for me to even get this out. She dialed 911 to have a deputy come there to help them move their belongings and take them to the airport so that they could fly back to New York. That they don't like it in Florida anymore. Did you hear? Did you hear that? Did you hear that she dialed 911 from inside the house that they'd broken into so we could help them pack up and give them a ride to the airport so they could return to New York?
It's got to be the school system. It got to be the school system, y'all. What could have caused that? Huh? School system? Prenatal vitamins? Ladies, I'm sick of it. Y'all I don't know if you're not taking them like you're supposed to on schedule or something. I've heard complaints that those prenatal vitamins are big and stuff like that. It's hard to take them. I don't know what it is. You're not taking enough fish oil, omega-3s. Something is causing this. Is causing the brain function to deteriorate and shut down. It's gotta be something. You know what I mean? Maybe it was all of the chocolate milk in the schools and stuff. Maybe it was something there causing. So I don't know. I'm trying to pinpoint it. I need your help. Because what what would make you in your right mind think you was, yeah, you ain't leaving Florida no time soon.
You have to be from New York to do something like that. Or you could have been from Baltimore because he used to be there. Or he has an outstanding warrant in Cleveland, Ohio. You could be from Cleveland. But for some reason, I don't think, even as inclined as Baltimore and New York is to not enforce the law, that you would think it's okay to commit a burglary and dial 911 to catch a ride out of the place. That's right. They didn't think there was anything wrong with it. Well, there is something wrong with it. You know, in New York, they're not going to hold you responsible for a minor burglary like that with nothing stolen out of the house. You know, they're going to let you go or have no jail bail or...
And I bet they thought they had squatters' rights. I bet they thought that, oh, well, we call them, they can't do nothing to us. We got squatters' rights. I guarantee that's what they thought.
I don't know what their deal is up there, but newsflash, they weren't in New York, they weren't in Baltimore, they weren't in Cleveland, they were in Polk County, Florida. And in Polk County, Florida, we lock you up. New phone, new cell phone, girlfriend, we took all of that stuff, and we gave them a ride. It wasn't to the airport, it was to the county jail. But given the circumstances in New York City, hey, maybe the county jail in Polk County is better than New York City. It's certainly safer than New York City. So I have seen some craziness in my life, but if this is the beginning of 2023, we've got a lot of craziness to see this year. But I don't know of anyone who's ever said, hey, I'm in the middle of a burglary here, but I'd like a ride to New York. Can you take me to the airport? She said that. We thought she was kidding. She wasn't. Now, you can go ahead and ask any questions you want, but I don't know how to make sense out of that. I guess you say, well, what do you think, honey? Well, we're not in New York anymore. Give me a kiss goodbye, because we're not going to get to stay in the same jail cell in Polk County. It's crazy. Y'all have a good day. Help us catch.
They are definitely a match made in soup sandwich heaven. They are definitely one of a kind couple right there, fam. I don't even know. I don't even know how you get to that point.
I'm gonna just say this, and y'all can call me a conspiracy theorist later. The LA fires. The Department of Justice just released a 186-page report detailing how systemic and calculated the Tulsa massacre was, that we have been taught all of our lives for the past 104 years since it happened, that it was just the mob violence, that it was just angry attackers, angry rioters. And we're finally finding out that no, this was actually very systemic and very calculated, to the point where they have police deputizing people within 30 minutes. I'm just saying everything was extremely calculated, and in these LA fires, how unprecedented they are and how widespread they were, and how in the midst of that fire, one of the historically black neighborhoods was burned to a crisp. I'm gonna just say this, and y'all can call me a conspiracy theorist later.
The government wants you poor. We are taught, even from a young age, well, we're honestly taught nothing. In our schools, we're not taught about money, right? We didn't learn what is good debt, what is bad debt, what is an asset versus what is a liability. The average adult has no idea what these things are, because we're not taught in school how to handle money, how to grow money, how to make sure we don't end up poor. And then on top of that, they tell us, let's go to college. So we go to college. We take out $200,000 in loans and walk out of college in debt that's going to take 30 years to pay off, that we can never get ahead of to get a job that we're making $40,000 a year. So we take out $200,000 in debt just to earn a salary making $40,000, which is going to take us 30 years to pay back that $200,000 in debt. And then what's worse than that is they tell you, put your money in a bank. Save, right? Saving is safe. Yet you have no idea that the bank is taking your money and then investing it, which is exactly what you should be doing too. And the solution to fixing all this is simple. Just put in the curriculum in our school districts how to learn about money, how to learn about investing, how to learn about budgeting, how to learn about taxes. But here we are, and it's not our teachers' fault, right? Our teachers want to teach this stuff, but we won't put it in the curriculum. Why is that? The government wants to keep you poor. The government.
But at some point, we have to ourselves say, okay, they're not going to teach us. We have to teach ourselves. That's my only gripe about it. You know what I mean? The information is out there. We just got to go find it. We no longer can rely on them to do it. And we see what happens if we sit around and wait for them to give us the information. We'll never receive it. And we'll only get what they want us to have, which means they keep us where they want us to keep, where they want to keep us. No, we can no longer allow that. We see that it's not being offered, and we see that it's important. We need to get the information. We have phones, we have access, we have all this information at our fingertips. We have to just rely on each other to say, hey, look here. Do you know where I can get this information? Yeah, get this tax information here. Get this investment information here. Speak to this person, look here, watch this video, research this. We have to. Or we'll just be a bunch of complainers sitting around saying what they didn't do for us. We got to take it in our own hands and grab it and take control of our own destiny at this point. Because, yeah, we weren't taught. We definitely weren't taught. And I know my folks didn't have the answers. They were trying to figure it out. So I can't blame them. They did not have the answers. They told me, go get a job. They told me, go to... Now, the part about the loans, a lot of people are in that situation with student loans. And they didn't know. They didn't know. Like, I had a roommate who not only paid for his school, paid for his living expenses with his student loans. So he was taking them out for school and taking them out to live. Like, he didn't know any better. So, yeah, bro. This is a conversation that needs to continue.
Complicating the attack, drones. People are out there using drones right now and interfering with the firefight in a pretty significant way.
That's correct. As over the last few years, we've seen an increase in personal drone activity. You know, this message we try and get out to the public is, if you fly, we can.
California state officials say there have been at least 40 incidents involving drones, forcing firefighters to temporarily ground air operations. One drone even hit a super scooper, putting a hole in the wing and taking it out of commission. How terrible is that?
It's very significant. There's no excuse for flying a drone. It's just willful misbehavior at this point, which is hard for me to fathom in an incident like this.
While the FAA has issued a warning for drones to stay out of the skies, firefighters still battle to control the flames and the airspace.
There's no proven method to stop these drones that we can deploy on an incident like this in a real blanket fashion to keep all the drones down. That technology just doesn't exist yet at that level.
So you're relying on people to have some common sense.
Exactly.
The FBI is working with fire officials to try to catch unauthorized drone operators. It's a federal crime, punishable with up to a year in prison and a fine of up to $75,000. Drone restrictions in wildfire areas will remain in place until at least the 23rd of January.
Now to the growing questions about LA County's response to the fires and the lack of water to fight them. ABC's Jacqueline Lee is in Altadena with this major part of the story. Good morning, Jacqueline.
Gio, good morning. That access to water critical for first responders and residents. You can see those flames burning in the hillside. It's powerful destruction so widespread. This used to be a coffee shop with nothing left behind.
This morning, as people trickle back into their devastated communities.
I can see my washing machine. I can see so many remnants of what used to be.
Mujike Cooper and her fiance Alex stunned to see the Altadena home they spent 4 years in reduced to ashes.
What do you guys regret not taking with you?
Definitely my box of keepsakes. It had, my dad fought in World War II, came back to a segregated country, and there were little fragments of his tours around the Pacific that I really wish that I kept.
Stories now emerging about the lack of adequate water supply as firefighters and residents battled the flames.
The water supply cut off.
Yeah, they shut the water off on us.
After watching her home burn to the ground in Altadena, 24-year-old Marcela Banuelos ran to her grandmother's home, grabbed a garden hose, and tried to save it.
They shut the water off on us, and you know, there was nothing we could do. Like, we didn't have any water to try to put out anything, and you know, I tried my best.
Governor Gavin Newsom demanding an independent investigation into the reported issue, while the LA fire chief claims her department saw a $17.6 million budget cut for the year. This as thousands of residents are now tasked with rebuilding from some of the worst fires in California history.
You see the rake? Yeah. All of this just fell straight down.
Alex and Mujike say they will do so differently.
I'm going to be very conscious, since we're rebuilding from the ground up, of the materials that we use to make sure that it is fire deterrent, and in hopes that this doesn't happen again.
Residents tell me they are extremely nervous about their ability to obtain home insurance after rebuilding, and the state banning insurance companies from canceling and not renewing policies for 1 year. Rhiannon?
Oh, just devastating. Jacqueline Lee, thank you for that. As you heard Matt Rivers mention, a red flag warning remains in effect for much of Southern California as LA prepares for more strong Santa Ana winds this week.
Now to the growing.
That's going to be the big question going forward too, bro. How much are these insurance companies gonna charge for new policies in those areas, knowing that wildfires could be around the corner at any minute? And that shouldn't be allowed, fam. That should not be allowed. But you could already see how this is gonna play out, man. And this is sad, bro. We have a huge problem, and let's see how they fix it. They wanted our votes. They wanted us to trust in them, the leadership. Let's see how they fix this.